Well, welcome everyone. We're glad you're here this morning. We're excited to be together. It's been a while since we've had a remnant gathering. So we're happy to be back together. And I'm going to go ahead and open us in a word of prayer as we get started this morning. Father, we just thank you for the privilege of being gathered together as believers and as fellow counselors and mental health professionals. It's a privilege to be able to gather, to support and encourage one another, to be able to share aspects of our lives with one another, and just to be able to have a place to, in a sense, take a deep breath together. And so I just pray that this morning would be a blessing to those who come, and that you would just guide our conversation, and that it may be glorifying and honoring to you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Okay, so the plan today is I'm going to take you through, probably most of you have seen the blogs I've been writing about the loss of my dad. And so I wanted to write a little summary because, and share it in live real time on some of the things I've been thinking through, because I've kind of come across this, or come to the place of this idea of unorthodox grief. Because my family is loud, if you couldn't just hear that, but also unorthodox in how they grieve. It's not always healthy, so it's forced me to kind of think through things a little differently. And its application, I'll say it that way, and its application to counseling for clients who might find themselves in different situations that are not the normal grieving process. Is that making sense so far? I'm trying to, my brain's a little muddled these days. So, all right. There we go. So there's my mom and dad, my oldest sister, believe it or not. That's like 1970. She's 52, so that would have been like 73.
Yeah.
So that was the right math.
Good real-time math there, Andrew.
1973, you can see where I get my arms. My mom has very long arms even still. But the context of quiet grief. So when my dad passed, there was no ceremony, there was no funeral, there was no graveside service. I just picked my mom up, drove her to the graveyard, we watched him get buried. Okay, and so there was no ceremonial process. There was no like point of, okay, this is it, beyond I just saw the casket in the ground. Because he passed away when I was in Colorado at residency for Colorado Christian. And so it became almost this idea of quiet grief. It was really strange because at residency, my friends were there that I teach with. My wife, who was sitting by me now, was not there. And so it was this really unusual experience. And so I got to thinking about clients and those that have unusual experiences, or their families are not particularly healthy, or they're estranged, and these kind of things happen. And what do you do? How do you help them through that process? And so I sat down this morning, believe it or not, put this together because I thought we need to talk about it today. So this was, my dad lived his life quietly. He didn't want anybody to pay any attention to him when he died. They had talked about a graveside service, but they canceled that. He didn't even want that. And my mom's the same way, but it's the same way with her. I'm not saying it's just healthy, it's just the way they do it. But my dad practiced spiritual disciplines really quietly. I don't think he always knew how to manage. And so he would sit in silence and stillness. He would pray in the mornings. He would read often. He was always grateful for what he had, and it was always very simple. He was the kind of guy who grew up on a subsistence farm. You could say my grandpa had, like, at his peak, 20 to 30 cows. It was a little dairy farm here in Michigan. They actually had to shut it down for a time and moved to Ohio, where my grandpa became a dishwasher at one of the family restaurants until he got enough money to start the farm again. One year, my dad's Christmas presents were oranges. Like that's what he got. They had indoor plumbing in junior high, but not beforehand. Melissa's dad was the same way. That's the way kind of a lot of these Midwest farms were in those days. It would have been like 1960s when he got indoor plumbing from them. But anyway, he was always pretty content with what he had. I think because he never really had anything as a kid. And then he had that near-death experience where he almost died of illness and had no phone in his house when he was first starting out as a school teacher. And said, "Lord, I'll come back," because he had walked away from the faith. That's when he was a hippie. If you save me, and he was saved from 103-degree fever and no doctor and couldn't get out of bed. And then restarted things with my mom, and they were married later. So he never wanted much, he never asked for much, and he showed me that in his life. He was always present, not always cognitively present, because he dealt with anxiety and struggled with that quite a bit. He had generalized anxiety for my entire life. He had the diagnosis. And so I've been thinking like that in context and the things that he used to love to do. We would watch Andy Griffith's show together. Those of you who heard me talk about that. He watched it with his dad. I watched it with him. My kids watch it with me. Melissa will sneak in sometimes too. He loved Orange Ice on the Porch. I wrote about that. He loved the Detroit Tigers. He liked basketball too. It's part of the reason I got into that. But the other part of that was I'm 6'8", so that just was given to me. He loved the outdoors. He loved the national parks. He was a member of the Sierra Club, yet he was really conservative, which is really kind of funny. If you think about the complexity of the way he saw the world, he loved nature and taking care of things. He had a moment where he killed a bird with a slingshot as a kid and buried it and had a ceremony for it, but we didn't have a ceremony for him. A lot of stuff like that happened. And so all this has led me to this. When you're working with clients, let the memories rise naturally, help them to get to that point. Don't force them, but let those sights and sounds and scents come up. Repeat their rituals. I found myself making orange ice a lot lately, and to my wife's unhappiness, eating too much of it. And my kids eating too much. Our kids, that's right. And our kids eating too much of it. I watch Andy Griffith when I miss him. I'll sit in quiet, like at residency. If any of you who've been to Colorado Christian know that there's a bench outside of Amfudes that sits in the shade most of the day. At residency 1 and 3, when I wasn't working with students directly, I was sitting there just kind of thinking about my dad. Sitting. Clients need things like that. Don't rush the grief, honor the pace of it. I at first thought, well, I should be way more mournful for this. I'm going to be crying, and the pain would come. But I often felt like it needed to be more intense for it to be real for me to work through this. I think clients almost, when they either don't want to grieve at all, or they want it so much that they kill the pace either way. Speak the unsaid. I was able to say goodbye to my dad and say some things to my mom, even at the gravesite, that needed to be said. The last time I saw him, because I had a feeling, it was the Sunday before I left to fly to Colorado. Lived the dream they couldn't. I wrote about that in one blog post, that he dreamed, and so did my grandpa, the dairy farmer, of going to Switzerland, because our family still has a house there. It's a few hundred years old. I don't know where it is. I don't know what it looks like. I know it's an A-frame. I know I can find it. So, and they both had the dream of going to the redwoods, and so I've kind of taken that on, and intend to do that before I turn 50. I think is it. Which I got 6 years. And so allowing clients to think about the things that their relatives would have dreamed about, and helping them learn to do them or find ways to get them done. I mean, a trip to Switzerland is so many thousands of dollars, but so it'll take a while to get it saved, right? But it's on the list. And so there's even some stuff with your mom that you think about that way, Melissa. Melissa's mom died 2 years ago as well, so we've kind of been in it. Let the ordinary become sacred. It is that time. I think about him. It's just the old classic Midwestern porch. on the back of a ranch. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, screened in wall about a third of the way up. He would just sit there happy and content all the time. And I find myself on our front porch doing that myself more often these days, or even just indoors thinking about it. And so these things I've found have helped me to mourn him without having to have that ceremony and still do it in a healthy way. And so I think if we can pass some of these things on to our clients, it will help them as well. So this is just another way of looking at it. My dad, we go to the beach every Friday night. We're 40 minutes from Lake Michigan. And if you've never been, it might as well be a Florida beach in the middle of summer here without the sharks and the salt. The sand's white-ish and the water's clear. But there was a yellow MG convertible sitting there, and I called Melissa over because my dad had a bright red one back in his hippie days. And he and my uncle took a trip all the way from Michigan up to the tip of Maine in that with just a couple changes of clothes and a couple $100, and they made it all the way there and all the way back. And they would like wash their underwear and stuff in the river and then throw it on the antenna and drive down the road and let it dry. I've wanted a convertible anyway, but stuff like that can help your clients more. And then, like I say, hiking the redwoods for me will be something, and then visiting Switzerland, and then learning to sit quietly, which is what he did so well with contentment when he wasn't anxious. Those are kind of the things that I look for. And this kind of described him. He taught second grade 26 years, fourth grade for 4 more, had to retire because it was almost painful at the end and caused his anxiety to worsen because the school systems, as you know, have become more difficult places to work. He worked public school at a rival school from where I played basketball, so I tried to pound that school extra hard every time I played him because I knew he didn't like it there. And I was really good, so I was able to do it. But this verse described his life, making your ambition to lead a quiet life. He didn't want a lot of attention. I know that even affects me in the way I operate these days. And work with your hands, mind your own business. He did that all the time. I don't know if it's just a Western male trait. My uncle, to a large degree, is the same way. His brother, who's 8 years younger, and I do it as well. Now it's just he and I. There's the oldest sister again. It's on my grandparents' farm. So that would have been like 49 years ago, before I was born. So again, just to review, unorthodox ways to help clients grieve, help them tell their story through parts. This is of your life. You should be like the person they lost life. So for my dad, again, it's like the Tigers, Orange Ice, and Andy Griffith. We always need to process. We may not need the ceremony, but we need to process and to go through a process. And so clients need to understand that as long as they are going through a process and processing that grief, I think that's healthy. So, and then grieving in the everyday moments, the little times, even if they're not big, we don't have to fool ourselves into creating some huge emotion. That's for clients. Dr. Knox talked to me about this for a time. He lost his dad a couple of years ago too. He was in his 90s, close to 100. And he said he would often get teary-eyed and pause, remember, and thank God that he got to have his dad in his life, and that he was able to move on. Then remember and participate in their sacred. That is the food, the scriptures, the places, and the people, and then even the things they love to watch and do. And that's kind of it. That is it.
I added a few more minutes to that. I felt like that breakout time went by pretty quickly, so I hope you all were okay with extending that out a little bit.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Luke, do you want to make the announcement while I pull up unless we need more time to
Yeah. No, I
trade
think,
out?
yeah, why don't you get it pulled up? And part of the announcements leading into this event, we wanted to share with you guys a new resource for members of Remnant Counselor Collective. There's some things like this that seem to be popping up here and there, kind of in the age of AI and stuff. And so we wanted to kind of lean in on some of the possibilities that are out there just to help us with our work. And so just as a bit of a reminder of some of the ways that RCC is trying to add value and really just kind of help the community is through kind of two different avenues. One, it's like on the personal side for us, helping us feel connection and support and encouragement with like-minded counselors, so we're not kind of struggling with so much of that isolation. That's kind of the main thing that we're after. But then there's the flip side of it too, is just helping resource and equip for just the clinical work and specifically the Christian integration, and so tools and resources for that. So this new resource Andrew's been working on is more on that kind of practical clinical utility side of things, and it's we're calling it what is it, TheoryWise? Is that right?
That's the best name we could come up with.
I love it. I think it's very creative. So what it is it's a web app to help you with just finding interventions to help with your clients, and then it also kind of guides you on the Christian integration of those different interventions and theories. So it's packed full of 50 plus different theories, and I think there's like 1,400 interventions. So more than you could.
Actually, it's 1,000.
1,000. Okay, yeah,
right there. So this is. I don't mean to cut you off. So go ahead.
Oh,
Sorry.
No, the screen looks black there to me.
It's black.
Yeah, it's black.
Oh, you know what it says? It's okay. It asks for one more step. Sorry. Can you see it now?
I can't. Can anybody else see it?
It shows up on my thing as sharing.
Yeah.
I am like.
Maybe try stop sharing and then try again.
Do you want to share it on yours, Luke? And share.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, and then I'll hand it over to you here in a second. You can dive in a little bit more. But basically, no, you're good. Basically, this web app, it's just designed to help you navigate through finding different interventions. If you're anything like me, it's like I only know so much and I can't know everything. And sometimes I'm working with a client and I'm like, maybe I'm either tired of doing the same thing over and over again and want to like kind of branch out and try maybe a new intervention I've never really explored before, just to kind of experiment and see how useful it could be. That's kind of what this could be used for. Or maybe you're working with an issue you're not that familiar with, and part of your learning using a tool like this can help you get familiar with some new interventions to work with issues you're not used to working with. So that's kind of what this tool is. And Andrew, I'll let you kind of take it from there and walk people through what you've built here.
You're gonna have to keep clicking around, I guess.
Tell me where to go.
If you want to go to the dashboard, just so I can.
Yeah.
So, folks, so you understand, like this is built within a program called Base 44. Eventually, like you will all get it for free. It's free for members. We're going to charge $50 for it for non-members. So we're hoping it's added value to you. I think it'll especially be helpful for newer professionals and students, but I also think people have been around a while. It's easy to forget this stuff, and having treatment planning help is really nice. So you see, it's 50 counseling theories. I had to argue with the AI service to make sure they were all non-repetitive because it kept trying to add the same ones over and over again. I've been doing my best to verify everything. So if you find something wrong, let us know. So there are 50 theories, meaning modalities. And Luke, if you want to click on that really quick, let me walk through. This is, the theories. Yeah. Go ahead and click on one of them, like ACT or something. Yep. So it goes over the overview. It tells you what it's best for, gives you the core principles, added considerations, and then I've had it pulled directly from the Jones and Buttman textbook, the quick summary of what Christian perspective is on this particular model or theory. Then you can see on the right, it lists all the techniques that we've been able to build with step-by-step how-tos. Eventually, we'd like to add some videos. And then you see on the left there, there's scholarly sources for this as well. Meaning, like for DBT, Linehan is the big one, right? It's Marsha Linehan. And it shows two of her major books. Yeah, Fee, I see your comment there. We also have an app specifically that you all get discounts on for studying for the NCE, the CPCE, and the marital one that I can never remember, the alphabet soup that makes that one up.
Yes.
So it has like the quick hits for everything you could possibly need on the theory that I can think of and that you can think of. Because Melissa is my editor in chief on a lot of these apps. She'll try it out and tell me what's wrong. So which is what I need really, because I think at 20,000 feet. So if we can go back to the dashboard, Luke, if you don't mind. Thank you. And then I want to go into the techniques. So these techniques, there's 1,000 of them exactly. At the moment, we're going to be adding more kind of as we go. They are connected to one of the theories, so they pop up underneath that theory as well. And you'll see there's even more integration that's pretty cool. And if you click on it, I was trying to fix this morning. Does it go anywhere? Okay, there's a step. It's supposed to go to its own page. I'm still working on that. Generally speaking, I have to argue with the AI for about 30 minutes to get it to do what I actually want it to do. You have to call it names and stuff. Just joking. Not entirely though.
I think you can get to, and maybe we can again.
Well, you can still see the step-by-step and the scholarly sources here. Could you click on the step-by-step one more time for me, if you don't mind? And then eventually I'll get it to go to its own page. It gives you the, like, if you don't remember, this is the quick hit on how to do this technique.
Yeah, real quick, we can edit this, but one way to get to their own page, if you're in the theory and you navigate to a technique from here, then it'll take you to that technique page.
See, the AI and I are not friends.
Yeah, we just need to, we'll fix that.
Yeah. So yeah, it has it all there. It's pretty cool. And this is like, we want it to be added value. We want Remnant to be really valuable. We want you to stay because we will stay for this, build the community while you're here type of thing. And so it's pretty cool. Now, if, do you mind going back to the dashboard, Luke, but tell me if I'm wrong again on something. You can see there, clinical assessment tools. These are recommendations. These are not the actual assessments. Some of them are free. Some of them have to purchase. For the ADHD testing, I'm doing like a whole huge box and a half of stuff just came from Pearson. You know what I mean? So a lot of the stuff you actually have to purchase from them. But almost all of these, if not all of them, are stuff that master's level folks can do, especially for licensed counselors, social workers, and psychologist advocacy groups. Not so much the individual people. I love them, but I don't, love the advocacy groups always try to tell us that licensed therapists can't do it. You can do probably all of these. You're a level B if you're master's level, you're level C if you're PhD. And so it gives you the description and what they're good for here. Okay. If we can go back to the dashboard, then so there's 202 of those. Now let's go to the smart treatment planner. I hope this doesn't have any glitches. I've been working on it. You can just keep going down a little bit there. You can actually tell it what theory you want it to use. You can give a non-identifying factor description of what your client is going through.
Yeah, because remember, it's not HIPAA compliant, so you don't want to use identifier.
We're working on that. Base 44, which is the platform, is actually working on that. So hopefully someday it will be. But it's not yet. So don't put PHI and the information in there. You can write a description and then you can, at the bottom, click. Luke, if you want to just type some mumbo jumbo in that box for a second.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
That's right. Andrew is crazy. There we go. Now click down there and generate treatment plan. And variations. And you can pick a theory, and then anything else you're interested in using, you can click on there. It's kind of dark, isn't it? And then you click generate treatment plan. You already
Yes.
clicked it?
It looks like it. It just
Okay.
automatically gave me
Oh,
some of this.
all right.
some
And
of
it
this.
gives you a treatment plan.
Yeah. Cool.
You're welcome, America.
And then is that like you can edit it pretty easily?
Oh yeah, you can pull off of this. I don't think there's a way to download it yet,
Okay.
but I can make it. I can work on that if that would be interesting to folks to have it so you can actually like download it into a PDF or something so you can have it on your desktop and then
Yeah.
transfer it over to where you want it.
I think I have an editable document.
It's not meant to totally replace the treatment planning process as far as like, but it's meant to give you ideas and recommendations and help speed it up.
Yeah.
Is the idea quotation goals? But see, I'm not sure what you.
So like when you ask the client, what is your goal? Like, could we add that so that it could add in? I'm just giving you suggestions for the future,
Well,
so I don't have to work so
yeah,
hard.
I don't know that I'd want to do that on here just because it's not HIPAA compliant, but you can merge it. Maybe after HIPAA compliant, we can do stuff
Probably
like that.
put some of that in the description as well, like as you're writing, like
Yeah.
The problem you could add in, the client would like to achieve this particular goal, and it'll probably use that to
Yeah.
help treatment plan.
You'll want to add more than Andrew is crazy and anxious. But the idea is like, don't do age, gender, even work, identify, like that kind of identifying stuff where somebody'd be able to tell if we ever got hacked. That's the idea. Like stay away from that kind of stuff. Okay, so go back to the dashboard. I'm taking too long on this. Okay, so and then theory support and Christian integration. These are all research-based, research articles, peer-reviewed, and books that are relatively seminal or well-known in the area of the field and the theories they support. There's also a section, there's 588 of them that are specific to Christian integration. So like if you're still in the program, anybody, and you're writing a paper and you need good solid sources, like this could be a place where you find them because it even has filters for searches.
Very cool.
And that's kind of the extent of it. I don't know, look, if you want to give the how to sign up thing so they make sure they
Yeah.
get it for free as members. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna. We have a page here. I need to edit this. I had wrong information there. It's 1,000 techniques. But anyways, I'll get that fixed. I'm gonna send this link in the chat, and then if you click this, it'll take you to a page to sign up. It's the way the web app works might be a little bit strange compared to like other things you might sign up for. This tool is outside of the Remnant Counselor Collective platform because our platform we're using for the community doesn't support this kind of tool at the current time. So it's another login that you're gonna have to create, but you'll create a login and that'll give you free access initially, but most of the features are going to be locked unless you sign up for a paid plan on the TheoryWise app. All right, and so you'll be able to see that in there. But let me first give you guys this link in the chat, so you guys can save it before we close the call. All right, and then one thing I wanted to clarify, we have 100% off discount code for the app for RCC paid members. That's something I wanted to make clear. If you're on the free membership with Remnant, you won't get that discount for this. So you'll see that like the cost for this is you pay $49.99 once for lifetime access to TheoryWise. Otherwise, it's a monthly subscription fee. But if you're already paying for a Remnant plan, right? There's the free basic Remnant plan that you have. It won't support the free access to TheoryWise. But if you're paying for either the student membership or the professional membership with Remnant, then you'll get that discount code for TheoryWise. And then you would just once you're logged in, you'll find the pricing here, get lifetime access. And then if you click the add promo code, you can enter that code here, and that'll zero out the cost for you. And then you'll just enter your email address and then click the pay button. So, and then that unlock all the features for you.
Yeah, I should say, it'll send us a notification that you've done that because the platform information doesn't have the ability to automatically upgrade you because like all the payment stuff is outside of it. And so we have to go in just like we do with the Sanctuary app and upgrade you manually. So it could take us up to a day or so. Just FYI. So if they don't show up right away, nothing's wrong. One of us just has to log into this and manually upgrade you.
Yeah. What we're working towards is getting this stuff coded into an actual mobile app, which will make a lot of those kind of just little manual steps a lot more straightforward and simple. This is kind of the best we can do right now with resources that we have.
Yeah, it's like $5 to $10 grand to get it recoded. And this way we can get it up and available to you and then work at saving the money as different things sell.
Yeah.
So.
All right. There's about 8 minutes or so left. You guys have any questions or thoughts or comments or anything else, that you guys would need at this juncture?
So we had Luke, there's a question that popped up we should probably answer.
Yeah.
I can't get my mouse on it right now because I'm illiterate. All right, there we go.
Yeah, let's see. What if you pay for remnant membership later on? Would you get discounts still when you pay for membership? Yeah, we can work that out. Whenever you upgrade to, if you're on the basic remnant plan and then you upgrade to a new plan, you're going to get a follow-up email to your new remnant membership. And in that follow-up email, there will be a discount code for TheoryWise in there. And if you ever run into any issues, you can always just email us and we can sort it out for you. But yeah, anytime you upgrade as a member in remnant, you'll get access to TheoryWise for free.
So also you should know, any of the apps we develop, like Sanctuary, the test prep app for the different tests. Dr. Robinson from CCU is working on a crisis response kind of management for school counselors and therapists, like a guide app with like resources for assessment and stuff in it. And you'll get 20% off as a paid member on all of those as well. This one we just wanted to give you like they were a training. This one we wanted to give you for free.
Mm-hmm.
So Luke, are we sending them that promo code?
Yeah, I see that question in there. So for those of you who are currently paid remnant members, I'm just going to be sending you, just keep an eye on your email. I'm going to be sending you the promo code now, since you won't get that automated promo code.
Yeah. And again, just give us a little time to upgrade you. We'll jump in there. There's full-time work and part-time work and this. So we gotta get you covered. So hopefully this adds a lot of value. And also if you don't mind, help us, spreading the word about these different apps. We're really trying to make them specific to therapists, Christian therapists, even though stuff like TheoryWise and the test prep app and those kind of things can be applied to anybody. But we're building them with you all in mind is the idea.
Yep.
Is the TheoryWise, does that have some, I thought I saw some specific Christian integration portions on it?
It does. It has the Jones and Butman. I can't even remember the name other than I'm so used to citing them. It's on my shelf.
It's called Modern Psychotherapies from a Christian Perspective or something like that.
Yeah. So it has like the critique on there so you can make discerning decisions. Is that a thing? And like at least it will inform you on maybe good ways to use that particular model. It's not meant to be terribly in depth. Yeah. And then there's also all those other resources just listed that you can look up. They're supposed to be linked to actual PDFs in many cases, but not in every one. When you get into the resources, I've asked it to do that and then argued with it to make sure it did it some at least. Because some of them are behind paywalls, so you can't get to those.
Yeah.
And so Erica, if they aren't a Christian therapist, you can, like I say, it's built for you guys, but it shouldn't be offensive, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, I think that's all the questions. Did we answer all the questions that came through? I think so. All right. Well, good deal. Thank you all for being here. Always good to connect with you guys. Our next remnant gathering, we'll be sending an email out kind of announcing the date for the next one. Initially, we were doing these a couple times a month. We're kind of spreading them out a little bit more and trying to do them more like midday. That seemed to be what most people were kind of requesting because it was hard for people to make it that often or at the evening times that we were doing. So we're still kind of trying to experiment with some different times of the week to gather and frequency, but we'll probably gather again in September. So we'll keep posted on that.
Is that the one that Dr. Burkhardt's coming to?
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah, Dr. Burkhardt will be sharing at the next one.
And then we're working on Jim Sells, who started the Regent programs. We're trying to get him in for one. We have good contact with him. So we're trying to get some people who are a little more well-known as well to come to some of these like we did with Eric Johnson. But Angel has his hand up. Angel, you got.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you to all of you guys for just the hard work on the app, and also just wanted to say, Dr. Richterman, again, thank you for just being vulnerable with us, with your dad's passing. That article was just powerful in terms of, I think many of us connecting to that. We just want to, I think overall, all of us want to say just thank you. And that we're just supporting you in prayer at this time.
There are 3 of them now, Angel. I don't know if you saw the others. And actually, I was up with my 5-year-old at like midnight last night and just decided, just full disclosure, I'm pumping my words into AI and having it help me organize it because I'm so muddle-headed right now. I'm having trouble getting the thought, but those are my words. But last night at midnight, 12:15, I was pumping more words into it because some stuff had come up after a conversation with my personal therapist here.
It's supposed to be me.
That's the joke about our conversations.
Look forward to reading those as well.
Yeah. Thank you. And so number 4 will come out next Tuesday. And it's less about reflection on my dad, more about the process of what the grief does to you. So what'd you say?
I'll make sure to put the bill in the mail.
All my money is yours already. So and it's not, I don't think I'm covering your fees if you get the idea. So anyway, but also I want to say if you would please keep spreading the remnant around. We hit 370 today as far as members. It grows anywhere from 10 to 30 a week right now, and the blog had 13,000 views last week. So there is hunger for this. People desire it. And so we just want to try to get the word out best we can. So if you can share us, we would appreciate it. And we can even send you some of the flyers that we had at residency in the mail if you want them. We sent 100 of them to Dr. Casilius recently. And if you want to pass them out, we'll find a way to get them to you. So let us know. But we just trying to do the guerrilla marketing here. So
yeah. Thank you all for being here. We'll let y'all go on that.
Yeah.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.